Xenoblade Chronicles may have a new best song. Future Awaits accompanied the ending credits scene for Future Redeemed. Unlike the previous ending songs, it wasn't really accompanied by a post-credit sequence. It was the credit sequence, as it flashed between various scenes from the Xenoblade games Not X up to this point, and showed us the road that we've walked. It's also a song that I believe is a work of pure genius, not just from a musical perspective, but also from a written lyrical perspective. I identified very early on with just the trailer, the second one we got a week before the DLC launched, that the song Future Awaits would probably have some kind of meta aspect to it, because it just seemed from the lyrics we had available to us at the time, or what we could hear from the song, that it felt like a song being told from the perspective of Takahashi to the player. And now that we have the full song available to us because of the game release, I'm more confident than ever that that is the idea behind the song. Because once you read the actual lyrics and think about them, and really absorb and digest them, it feels like a pep talk from Takahashi himself to the player that has multiple meanings. Whether it be about the future as a general concept, and us trying to achieve our own personal dreams and aspirations, or just this overall anxiety that may befall some of us, wondering if the next stage or chapter of Xenoblade will hold up to what has just come before it. Xenoblade Chronicles constitutes my favorite video game series of all time. It only relatively recently took that crown for me, but I absolutely adore this game. There's no entry that I don't like. Most entries are in my top 10 game, or like right behind it. Top 10 games of all time, or like right behind it. It's a series that's very near and dear to me ever since I first played it back in 2015 or 2016 with Xenoblade X. So let's go verse by verse and break down Future Awaits and see if we can glean some kind of message from the song. For the future awaits, people. You're standing at a loss, in front of a door that's been closed for so long. With your foreseeing eyes, what do you see? Now, to me, the door represents a path to the future that was once closed, but it's now openable to us. We can actually open this door and step into the future. But it's a door, I'm assuming not a glass door, a giant wooden door that we can't see through. We don't know what lies on the other side of it. With our foreseeing eyes, essentially our theory-crafting eyes, what do we think we can see on the other side? What do we predict will happen in the future? Then the song continues, until you open it, you cannot know, afraid to see what could be on the other side. And outside of trying to make me burst out into Fall Out Boy karaoke, that verse, to me, is all about fearing the future and that being a completely normal human reaction. We aren't comfortable with or even in the unknown. People fear the deep dark space of the universe. People fear the boundless abyss of the deepest oceans. People fear what's on the horizon, what's outside of their comfort zone. It's a natural human reaction because we know what we know. And once we know something, we can become comfortable with it because we understand it. It can become predictable. We can't be surprised by it. But we won't know what lies beyond that door until we open it and just step inside. And we haven't done so because we're just afraid to see what's actually on the other side. Oh, can't you see how much I feel the same as you? It seems we just need to let it all go free. Takahashi enlightens the player that he is just like us. Even if we don't realize it, he's also afraid of what lies beyond the sky in the future, just like all of us. But we need to let it all go, not like the Frozen song, not like that. We have to be willing to step forward regardless, even if we don't know what to expect. I've seen that look before, the stare of your fearful looking eyes. That quiet voice inside, what do you hear? He sees the fear in us, the fear that maybe the future will bring disappointment, shame, regret, or pain. Maybe the future of the series doesn't live up to what we have now. Or maybe we can peel it back like another layer and extrapolate it to an assessment of our base intellectual fear of the unknown. What lies beyond us in the future? We may chase a dream and we may fail. We may fall in love or lose out. Hearts may be shattered or our bodies could fail us. There's an infinite number of possibilities for what may lie before us after we choose to brave a new tomorrow, and not all of them are going to be good or beneficial to our well-being. And Takahashi's also asking us what our subconscious is saying. That voice we never reveal to others. The doubt, the anxiety, the fear. But also that little spark deep down in all of us that wants to brave that unknown, to see what lies beyond. The us, deep down inside us. What are they saying? Do they fear tomorrow like our eyes are showing? Because if we are trying to hide that idea, we're doing a pretty crap job of it. The fear is just written plain for all to see in our eyes. Will you give up and stay where you belong? Afraid your time, it just might take too long. And besides the, like, subtly weaving in where we belong as a reference from the end of Xenoblade 3 here, with and stay where you belong, I noticed that, by the way, as I was, like, making this VO, or voiceover. What that lyric is really trying to tell us is chasing a dream is rarely ever a short endeavor. It's a climb, a painstaking one where day in and day out, we have to be content not with the results, but with the effort and willpower that we put in and that we possess to keep pressing on, and the fear that we may never reach the mountaintop can be all-consuming, make us feel content in the present state of affairs, not wanting to brave tomorrow, but content with where we hang from that mountainside, because we don't know if we'll fall or not, or if we're doomed to climbing up an unclimbable mountain, a door possibly being forever locked before us. So we stay where we are, content with the road we've walked, content with our current lot in life. Sure, it may not be what we want exactly, but we probably still have something to grasp onto. Some kind of happiness that's grounding us. Some routine that's giving us comfort. And you won't know unless we keep on trying. Now we need the strength to carry on. And this is just building off that earlier idea that the fear is simply that. Not necessarily a fear of failure, but a fear of the unknown. Because we simply don't know what will happen. Sure, we could stumble and fall, and sure, we could fail. But in equal measures, and even if it's not equal measures, there's still the possibility that we could succeed, or find love, or enjoy our lives in ways we simply couldn't, by standing still and refusing to open the door leading into tomorrow. Xenoblade 3's main story taught a very valuable lesson here. That even if we have some kind of comfort or some kind of happiness that we're able to hold on to, if we wallow away in this present moment, all we're doing, really, at the end of the day, is wallowing away in stagnation, waiting for the rot to take hold and to annihilate all that remains as we selfishly cling on to this perpetual, endless now, as our own selfish desires rip the ones we care about away from us in the end, as we morph and amalgamate into something different, something unrecognizable to who we should be, to who we are. And as we approach the rest of the song, this is when the song starts to transition to more of I have a point I'm trying to tell you in terms of Takahashi's perspective here. Our voices might not be heard, and it doesn't matter if we fail. But if there's a future, that's where we'll set our sights. There's always a chance with willfully moving on and taking or walking your own path that you may fail. You may never be heard, doomed to suffer an eternity of your voice being drowned amidst the maelstrom of conflicting opinions that populate our modern world. Maelstrom, that's how you pronounce that word. We may never achieve our dreams, and that is a grim, cold reality that we have to be willing to internalize, digest, and accept. Because as a people, sometimes all we need is a goalpost, something to strive for, a mountaintop to look at, to constantly look up and say, I can get there, I can walk there. One more step, one foot in front of the other, I can do this. The future, the perpetual blank slate, where no matter what may have come before, or all those times we scraped our knees and broke our bones falling, we have the chance to pick ourselves back up and walk ever forwards into the unwritten fable that is tomorrow, so that we focus on that, because that gives us strength, because it can give our lives meaning and strength to suffer through the blackest night, in the hopes that tomorrow may break over the horizon, to give us comfort and respite amidst the cruel world that we occupy. Because it is cruel, and sometimes we don't fall over on our own volition. Sometimes we're pushed and shoved, sometimes we're beaten and bruised. And we can lay there, content in that reality, or we can just get back up and take another step. From one sure step, we'll walk hand in hand, just the two of us. Takahashi is trying to invoke a sense of comfort with this verse, that along the path we choose of our own volition to walk, we are not alone. And he personalizes it saying just the two of us, referring to the player and Takahashi. We approach our penultimate verse here. If you feel you've got no guidance, I will always be near, right beside you. If you think you've lost your way, we will walk this path together, for our future awaits. Along the path, we may sometimes feel disoriented, forgetting where we just were or what direction we need to go, but Takahashi affirms to us that he'll act as the guiding hand, guiding us when we stray from our path, not in front or behind us, not guiding or following, but right alongside us, because he's walking this path right there with us, no more better or worse off than us. For both of us, the player and he, have our own futures that we are striving towards. And while our end goals may be different, we walk a common road. People may lose their way or stumble and fall or choose to plant their feet content with the distance they've traveled and choosing to settle. But we are perpetually ever moving forward and onward unto the unknown, because the future awaits. what with all the mystery and intrigue that entails. It's like A says in Future Redeemed, humans strive for ever higher heights. Give us paradise and we strive for something greater. Just who we are. Just built like that. Some may even say built different. We learn to fly the skies and then we aim towards breaking the atmosphere. And not content with that, then we reach the moon. And now we aim for Mars. Sure, the metaphor may be a bit on the nose with the whole, flying, going into space thing. But we as humans aren't all that good on settling down and being content with our current lot. Life is ever-changing and ever-evolving. We grow, we stumble and fall, but we get back up each and every time and take a few more steps before we inevitably fall over once more. But we do so in the hope that the summation of all those steps that we managed to take will amount to something, not necessarily perfection, but something better than where we were. For perfection is an enigma, a vague ethereal fog that we can never grasp. To strive to be better than who we were, and to continue to look forwards and towards tomorrow is an underlying property of the human condition. The future may be scary and an unknown, but we walk towards it regardless, because that's what it means to be human. To walk our own path in the hope that all those steps that we took on the road before, and all the steps that we are willing to take, will lead us towards a tomorrow and a better, more fulfilling horizon, where we can look back on what we have accomplished with more than just a content smile, but to be proud of what we've done and who we've become. Not just by ourselves, but together as humanity. Now the song fixes out here. Makes us think the song ended with that verse, but there's still more to it. One final verse. I see you by the door, so just walk through. Don't take too long, cause everything you've said, you'll find it there, in our future. Even when faced with the realization I just laid out for you. Actually being in front of that door, and in those singular moments that can drastically change the course of our life, or even the smaller ones, they can all add up to something greater. We get nervous. We hesitate, and all those worries and anxieties inherent to our collective, deeply rooted fear of the unknown boil and bubble to the surface. And sometimes they may feel overwhelming. We may freeze in our tracks, with our senses overwhelmed at the possibilities that await, breaking away from the routines that grounded us yesterday, and those that gave us comfort and normality. But an unknown works both ways, and a gorgeous, sun-filled tomorrow may be right behind that door. We'll never know if we are too afraid to open it and step forth. For life is a series of doors, a series of choices and moments that collectively make up who we are, not only as a people but as individuals. And sure, it's all well and good to talk all this without actually being in front of the door. Because we can understand this mindset, internalize it, and accept it. But when we get in front of that door, we can still hesitate. And that's fine. That's a natural human response to the unknown. But we have to have the confidence in ourselves to be willing to turn the knob and open the door, and to step forth. For life is a series of those doors. A series of choices and moments that collectively make up who we are, not only as a people but as individuals. What we value and what we cherish, whether it be friends or family, greed, or any other selfish or selfless desire. Those choices that we make in those moments when against those doors constitute who we are. But we can only open the door and make a new choice to walk a new path into tomorrow if we're willing to open the door. We can always do it, but we have to be willing to. For the future is unknown, and while we can't change the footfalls we've walked before, we can still course correct and march onwards into a new light with new perspectives to better not only ourselves, but those around us and humanity as a whole. Happiness and personal growth may await in the future, but we have to be willing to have the strength enough to take one step in front of the other, because we'll find it there in our future. It's all well and good to look back onto the past and say, what if I done this, or what if this had happened differently? But at the end of the day, those choices constitute who we are now. We would be a different person. We have to be content with the road that we've walked up to this point, but be willing to walk more, to tread new ground, a new path. There's an absolute meta angle going on with the song Future Awaits, and the inherent meaning can differ from person to person. There's absolutely interpretation relating more in line with the series that this chapter of Xenoblade is coming to its conclusion. And where do we go from here? And now on, the stories that are told and that we make are unknown. And we'll perpetually worry that maybe the next chapter won't live up to what came before. And there's an equal chance that the next phase surpasses what came before as well. We just have to be willing to walk on and see. The song can mean something more in line with what I laid out here today. Be more about the human condition, and Takahashi speaking to the player about not fearing tomorrow. Or we could even probably view it as A singing to Matthew, or Shulk and Rex singing to their children, or the Liberators to everyone else. There's so many different interpretations you can go with this song. I think I prefer the one I laid out here today. I talked before about how Beyond the Sky is kind of also another meta-analysis from back when Xenoblade 1 first came out. And I think it's only fitting for the songs to come full circle, and for this one to be another meta-analysis from Takahashi's perspective. And honestly, I think this is as close to the perfect song as you could have put here for the end of Xenoblade, or at least this trilogy. It surmises the entire series up to now perfectly. All the messages and stories that it told, led up to this song. I'm glad it did. So I'm going to call the video there for today. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great day. Go play some video games if you can. As always, see you all next time, for the future awaits. Bye-bye, everybody. Till we meet again.